Chrisley worried for Julie to be around violent men. Chrisley is worried for his mom, Julie Chrisley. She is going to have to be around violent men. He is not happy with what is going on. However, some fans think he needs to be on his best behavior, so his mom has a chance to get out of prison. There has been a lot going on with their family. Keep reading to find out more. The Chrisleys go to prison. Todd and Julie Chrisley are currently in prison. This is for tax evasion and fraud. Savannah gained custody of her two younger siblings, Chloe and Grayson. Fans were shocked when this came out. However, Julie has a chance to go home. They decided that they did not have enough evidence to prove she was involved. She has a resentencing hearing on September 25. This is her one chance to get out sooner and go home. She could even get out on house arrest. However, she has to go to court in person when she was hoping to do it via Zoom. Chrisley worried for his mom. Chrisley is worried about his mother traveling with violent men. He took his concerns to social media. This is something their family is upset about. However, fans think this is a blessing for Julie. She is getting the chance to go home. However, Chase sees it as something bad could happen to his mother. Some fans do feel bad for Julie because she has been in the hospital for a while and now has to go travel. Regardless, fans are hoping she gets let out. It seems as though Chase thinks her going across the country is going to be dangerous. He does not want her to have to be shackled and moved from city to city. However, she does not have an option. This is her only chance at getting released. She may even be able to get on house arrest. Fans hope she receives good news. Chrisley had always prided himself on being a rock for his family. From the time he was old enough to understand the complexities of life under the spotlight, he knew his parents, Todd and Julie Chrisley, had built an empire of fame, fortune, and family values. But that empire had recently crumbled, and the consequences left a lasting impact. His mom, Julie, was no longer the warm and nurturing force at home, orchestrating family dinners or spoiling her grandchildren. Instead, she was serving time in prison, a reality Chase still found hard to swallow. The guilt of her absence gnawed at him daily. But beyond the guilt, a new fear had taken root in Chase's heart. His mom was surrounded by dangerous people, and worse, violent men. Chase sat in the dimly lit kitchen of his Nashville condo, his phone resting on the counter in front of him. He'd just gotten off a brief call with Julie. The static of the prison phone line echoed in his ears as her voice, softer than usual, lingered in his mind. "You holding up, Mama?" he'd asked, trying to keep his voice steady, though his hands trembled slightly. "I'm all right, baby," Julie had replied, her voice tight with restraint. "But you know how it is in here. It's tough." She didn't elaborate, but Chase had heard enough horror stories about life behind bars. The stress of prison life was unimaginable for someone like Julie, who'd spent years as a socialite, living in luxury. Chase couldn't bear the thought of her being around hardened criminals, especially men who saw women like her as prey. As Chase stared out the window, the autumn sun dipping behind the skyline, his mind wandered back to all the warnings he'd heard. Prison wasn't just about isolation. It was about survival. And while Julie was a strong woman, she was vulnerable in a way that made Chase sick to his stomach. She was in a medium security facility, but that didn't make him feel any better. The rumors he'd heard about prison gangs and male guards abusing their authority only fueled his growing anxiety. Chase remembered the one time his dad, Todd, had let it slip during a heated phone conversation that Julie had encountered a few close calls with some of the men working in the prison. His father had brushed it off quickly, trying to shield his children from the full brunt of the situation, but Chase wasn't a kid anymore. He could read between the lines. He rose from his seat, walking aimlessly around the kitchen, his thoughts racing. Should he hire someone to look after her? He'd already discussed this with lawyers, but they had reassured him the prison had protocols in place. That didn't comfort him. He knew Julie wouldn't tell him everything, not wanting to worry him more than he already was. But that secrecy made his anxiety worse. If something were happening, if she were in danger, he needed to know. His phone buzzed, snapping him out of his spiraling thoughts. It was Savannah. "Hey," Chase said, picking up. "Have you talked to Mama?" Savannah's voice was strained, a mirror of his own concern. "Yeah, just a little while ago. Why, what's up?" Savannah hesitated, her silence heavy. I've been hearing some things from a friend who works in the prison system. Nothing's confirmed, but I guess there's been some incidents with male guards." Chase's chest tightened. What kind of incidents? "Harassment, intimidation, maybe more," she whispered. "I don't want to freak you out, but it sounds like things are getting out of hand over there." Chase felt a surge of anger and helplessness. His protective instincts flared. This is exactly what I was worried about. What the hell are we supposed to do? I can't just sit here while Mom's stuck in there with people like that. "I don't know, Chase. I don't know what we can do. Dad's been trying to push for better conditions, but you know how it is. They don't care about us anymore. They don't care about her." That last sentence hit him like a punch to the gut. She was right. To the world, the Chrisleys were no longer reality TV royalty. They were felons, stripped of their influence, their reputations shattered. No one cared about Julie's safety now. But that didn't change the fact that she was his mom. "I'm not giving up," Chase muttered, more to himself than Savannah. "I don't care what I have to do. If something happens to her in there because of some violent men, I'll never forgive myself." Savannah's voice softened. "I get it, Chase. I feel the same way. But we have to be smart about this. Maybe we can push for a transfer to a different facility, somewhere with less risk." "Maybe," Chase muttered, rubbing his temples. The idea of Julie being moved felt like a step forward, but he wasn't sure if it would change anything. No matter where she went, prison was prison. There would always be people who wanted to take advantage of her, or worse, hurt her. After he hung up, Chase couldn't shake the growing dread. He paced the length of his kitchen, replaying Julie's voice in his head. The worry she tried to mask behind a calm front. The way she avoided answering when he asked if she felt safe. Suddenly, Chase stopped, his resolve hardening. He wasn't going to let fear paralyze him. His mom had been there for him all his life, and now, more than ever, it was his turn to protect her. He'd call their lawyer first thing in the morning and demand answers. He'd find out exactly what was happening in that prison and take whatever steps were necessary to ensure her safety. Chase couldn't bear the thought of Julie being harmed, surrounded by dangerous, violent men. And if anyone thought they could hurt his mom, they had no idea who they were messing with. The Chrisleys might have been knocked down, but Chase wasn't going to let them be destroyed. Not without a fight. No matter what it took, he would make sure Julie came home safe.